Hey, what is going on, guys? So today we have another Premium-Bandai kit here to take a look at. This would be the HGUC Doug Schneid's Efreet. So not to be confused with the Efreet Schneid, Doug Schneid's Efreet. It's a little bit different here. It's basically the regular Efreet, but it has the addition of this big long axe bit there, and also kind of the machine gun arm attachment there from the Goof Custom, which is pretty cool. So I really like this version of the Efreet. I just really like the HGUC Efreet in general. Any version of the kit, it's a really fantastic kit, so always happy to check out another version. That said, the original version, the regular Efreet, is kind of the only really version of it that I don't really particularly like all that much, so not too keen on this style shoulder armor for it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at the kit and everything that is included with this. So just basic P-Bandai box art here, nothing really too much to see. As always, big thank you to USA Gundam Store though for making the review possible. If you guys do want to check out the different P-Bandai stuff and everything else there on the USA Gundam Store site, check the link down in the video description below and use my coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, to save yourself 10% off everything on the site. Now let's find our way down to the instructions, shall we? Now, not really going to be too much to see here. As you can see, there's nothing in color. It's just a black and white manual for this. On the bottom, we do have our parts list, and it looks like we will have a number of leftover parts, and so that's pretty typical for a P-Bandai kit, but just be aware of that. The only thing that I don't really like about these is that I do like having a nice reference photo in the manual, at least like one big nice color photo. And when you have these manuals like this, these P-Bandai kits, and not having any like good proper photo of the kit, that means I have to pull up a photo if later if I want to see it. I have to pull it up on my computer or my phone or something, so I just sometimes prefer to have a nice one just there, right there in the manual when working on the kit. But anyway, so it just goes through the construction here as you might expect, and then we've got just the building of the axe there, and then also the shotgun. I forgot this kit comes with a shotgun, which is pretty cool. It's the same shotgun used by the HGUC Camphor, so I'm guessing we've got a runner in here from that kit as well. Let's just take a look at the runners and find out. Alright, so here is the foil sticker sheet, which looks a little bit disappointingly pretty heavy there, but as I remember, other different versions of the Efreet did also have a number of these stickers on there, so not exactly a whole lot of new stuff, but yeah, gonna be quite a few foil stickers on here. Also, the big cool logo that it's got there is also going to be a sticker very similar to the P-Bandai HGUC Slave Wraith, which we took a look at not too long ago, so yeah, again, like that. PC002 for our polycaps here in gray. And now get ready for a real hodgepodge of runners here. So here we have runner A1, which is from just the regular Efreet. And we've got two of this runner A1 in different colors. So one in this dark like maroon kind of color, and one in this kind of light purplish pinkish kind of color. And then runner A2 for a copy of this half of the runner there, of the purple version anyway. Then we've got runner B1 here in four colors, a light gray color, that same dark maroon, the light purplish pinkish color, and then one little part there in white as well. Then we do also have runner B2, which is a copy of this portion of the runner there. Runner C1 here is just in a medium normal kind of gray color, and then runner C2 as well for all of our joint parts as well as some hand parts and stuff on there as well. Runner D1 here in this very interesting orange color there for our piping parts around the head and waist. Runners E1 and E2 here are joined as just one runner, just for a couple more parts there in the dark maroon color. And then runner F1 as well, also in that same color, just a few more different armor parts and things like that. This one from the Efreet Kai. Runner G1, a small little runner here with a couple of parts, and looks like for like the head on there. And then we do also have runner G2, two of them for the parts there for the top of the feet. So it looks like probably not going to use this purple one, but we're going to have the top of the feet be in this darker maroon color there. And then runner H in this kind of cream kind of color. It's certainly an off-white color here for the shoulder parts and little spikes. We've got two of those, so those are looking pretty cool. Runner I here is back to gray with some parts there for the backpacks, more hand parts, and the shotgun parts there. So interestingly, those shotgun parts are from just the regular Efreet kit, which is what this runner is from, which was also a P-Bandai kit, and not taken from the HGUC Camphor kit anyway, so there you go. And then we do also have runner I2 as well, which is a copy of this corner of the runner there. And then runner J1 for a few more parts here in this light purple pink color. And then basically our one new runner for this kit here is the J2 runner, which is in gray, and it's just the big parts there for the axe, and then the parts for the machine gun attachment for the arm as well. So there you go. So that is quite a number of runners for an HG kit, but as you can see, we're going to be using they're all like runners that are broken down into different sections, so you're going to be using like a couple of parts from each runner and things like that. So I'm gonna get this built up and then we'll see how it looks. It should be pretty cool, and yeah, let's check it out. Alright guys, so here it is all built up, and again, like with the other different versions of the HGUC Efreet, I gotta say it's a fantastic kit in terms of its looks and proportions, details, everything, all of that. Under the hood it's great, the articulation, everything, the engineering of it is really, really good, especially up in like the way the chest and the shoulders, all that part of the build, really fantastic. It's just that with this one, man, the stickers on this kit are pretty janky, so that's not really going to be a very enjoyable part of this building process if you are going to use those color correcting stickers that's got on it. I think if you're going to be painting the kit, you've got a little bit of masking to do. That shouldn't really come too much of a surprise with it being an HG kit. In order to get it perfectly color accurate, it's pretty normal to have to do a little bit of masking on there. This kit maybe does have maybe a little bit more than usual, but I feel like it's pretty normal amount of missing color apps on it. It's just that the stickers that are included to make those up don't really want to work all that well. So why don't we go ahead and just start off by taking a look at some of those stickers here. Starting off here on the chest, that big gray one there, that one, you know, fits on there kind of okay. These little gray ones there in there for the vents, those are fine. The big one there for the logo, I'm not really happy that that's just a foil sticker. Of course, obviously a water slide would have been much better, but it is an HG. That said, despite it being an HG, it is also a P-Bandai kit. So with it being a P-Bandai kit, I kind of would like to have water slides in there, at least one for the logo, you know what I mean? Obviously the mono eye is a sticker too, but not really gonna be too much to say about that. That one actually does work pretty well for what it is. Over here on the sides of the arms, you got these circle bits that go on the side, and then also like a bar that wraps up around over the top of that bit. So those fit on there okay, and you probably wouldn't really notice those all too much. So I mean, I feel like those are not really too bad offenders. This gray piece here in the center, also a sticker that fits over that. That one's just kind of not really all that great. And then down here we have a little gray sticker on the inside, and then this orange sticker that goes around the outside for this crotch vent. Obviously not looking very good there either. Same thing down here. This is all one sticker though, it's not two separate stickers for the gray inside. It's all one sticker that just fits over this detail here on the front of the foot. Not really going to be looking very good, and I really did my best to get that on there. Around on the back of the leg as well, all this white is all a sticker. The white on the front of the leg, that's an actual separate part. This is not a separate part, so it's just a big white sticker that wraps all the way around the back of that. The good point of that is that it does hide a little bit the seam line here on the back of the leg there, which is just this little bit on there. It's hidden underneath the sticker. And then going up onto the backpack, you have this gray sticker here that fits around the edge of this vent detail as well, which also just doesn't really look very good either. So as for the seam lines, otherwise, I mean, the seam lines on this kit are pretty minimal, and the legs are just hidden as just panel lines here, 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 and then like I said, down here it is an actual seam line, not a panel line, so you will have a seam line to remove down here on the lower part of the leg. On the arm, you will have a seam line there on the front of the forearm, a little bit there, not this like cuff part, but like the center of the forearm, there's a little bit of a seam line there. On the back, it's hidden, it's covered up by this part there on the back of the arm. But then up here for the shoulders, so the main white piece is all one piece, but these two pink pieces there are to have sandwiched together for this top part. So I'll go over a little bit later in the review about how to get rid of that seam line. I'll just give you a little tip about that later at the end of the review. If you guys are interested in that, just stay tuned until the end. But yes, how could we forget this big gray sticker there in the center? So that big light gray part there in the center of the torso, you might think that's an actual gray piece, but you'd be wrong. It's an actual piece that's just covered by a gigantic gray sticker that fits over all that huge section there. So really a shame they couldn't have made that just a gray part like with these same colors here and here. But yeah, so a little bit sticker heavy, and we've got some leftover parts with this kit, of course, so I'll just give you guys a couple of examples of some of the leftover parts you have. So like for example, you have the parts for the bottom of the feet. If you wanted those in this different color, you have those, and like you could have the middle part of the foot be in this lighter color, but you only have one of that light pink color, so you couldn't have both feet in like opposite colors. Just the bottoms of the feet you could have in opposite colors. Also the front middle section of the crotch armor and also the back skirt you have in opposite colors if you wanted to swap those out to give you a little bit different colors. This is all again just assuming that you're not going to be painting the kit. If you want to just give it some different custom colors based on whatever option parts you have or leftover parts you have included with this. Also this set here for the back of the arm you have in different colors, but again you only have one of this set, so you can't make this for both sides. But again, if you want to have one in a different color, you could do that. And the same thing here for the shoulder. You have one set of shoulder armor in the opposite color, so you could have one in a different color. It could be kind of interesting. You do have some actual alternative parts here for the head. You have a different style commander fin for that. That's a little bit different detail, a little bit different shape for that. And also a different part for the top of the head that doesn't have the Vulcans. So if you, for whatever reason you didn't want to have those Vulcans in the top of the head, you have this piece, which is in a different color as well here for that. Now, as for the actual accessories for this kit, we have the regular holding hand, and then you do also have a trigger finger hand for the right side, which is for holding the shotgun. And then for the left side, you have this open hand and this regular holding hand there, which you can use for either the open hand for holding up the shotgun or for holding onto the axe, which we'll see in a minute. But here is that shotgun. Now, this is with the extended part out the back, and this will have some seam line on here as well, as you might expect, but it's just easy enough to just swap that out, pull that piece out, and then put this piece in if you wanted to have the shortened version of the shotgun there without this part going out the back. So you can swap out that handle pretty easily. I like that. And you have this little connection piece here, which will just plug onto that, and then you can connect this onto the back skirt, which is convenient. I suppose you'd probably want to connect the form with the shortened handle in it, but anyway, you guys get the idea. And then of course our gigantic heat hawk here, which does look very cool, except that the blade part is just in the same gray color as the whole rest of the thing. So this one, while the detail does look good, it will definitely benefit from some painting on there to paint in some of these details and everything on there. And just to give you an idea of the length of this, let's just measure this. It looks like it's going to be coming out to just under 18 centimeters in length. So it's going to be pretty tall, certainly taller than the mobile suit itself, as you can see, like that. And also, in case any of you guys are wondering if this can actually fold up, as it looks like you got a joint here for this to be able to fold up, maybe fold it up, store it on the back skirt or something you might be expecting. Well, no, it doesn't actually do that. It doesn't actually fold up here at this joint. It's just a solid joint, which I guess is good. It's not going to give you any weight issues or anything like that, or it could actually like bend when you don't want it to bend. It's solid, that's good. But it would have been cool, I think, if this would actually been able to actually fold up and be able to store on the back skirt or something like that, in case anyone actually wanted to pose it like that. So it's just kind of an option that could have been included that unfortunately was not. And just another quick side note, in case any of you guys are wondering, if you wanted to remove the machine gun here on the arm, you will have this hard point sticking out, but you could definitely just cut that off and just sand that down if you wanted to have this just without that plugged onto the arm or something. And then also, if you had a different version of the Efreet, like for example just the regular Efreet Schneid, and you wanted to swap this part, I think you should be able to just swap this forearm part and use this, for example, with the Efreet Schneid, just by swapping that part, and then of course giving this machine gun to the different version of the Efreet. But so overall, once again, this is a really cool kit that I think is definitely for the fans, if you're specifically a fan of this design. Not one that I would typically recommend, just for everyone. I would definitely recommend that everyone, no matter what type of builder you are, what kind of kits you're typically into, I would definitely recommend just the HGUC Efreet in general. Go for whichever version you like the most. But that said, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the version you have to have. Honestly, probably my favorite version still yet is the Efreet Noct, which is also a P-Bandai kit, unfortunately. But that was what I would say would have to be my favorite. This one, the stickers are kind of garbage if you're going to be not painting the kit and planning on using the stickers. So that's just not going to be a very good point of this kit. The weapons are cool, but the lack of, again, this is just considering if you're not painting, the lack of different colors there with the axe make it a little bit boring looking, and then the fact that it doesn't fold up is kind of disappointing. Again, I don't think that would be a difficult thing to modify if you did want to actually have this folded up and mounted onto the back skirt. I think modifying that, it would just not be that difficult to do, but it's just a slightly disappointing thing that they didn't make it do that just straight out the box. But so overall, it's a very good kit with just some minor things to complain about, but really nothing too much. And obviously, the other complaint about it is just the fact that it's a P-Bandai kit in general, just going to make it a little bit more difficult to get, a little bit more expensive, but anyway. So, alright, let's take a look at the shoulder seam line then, shall we? Alright guys, so it's really quite simple. Let me just first, we'll just remove these spike bits if I can get them out of here. And these parts are actually not easy to get off once you got them on here, because I'm trying to pry them apart. Basically, these two halves sandwiched together over the top of this, but you can see in these little bits here on the inside where they're stuck in. That's actually a good hint as to what we're going to need to do to get rid of the seam line here. So let me just try to get this pushed out so I can get this thing off of here. So now that we got that apart, you can see here basically these two pegs sticking out here. Those are going to be the two pegs that actually hold these two halves together like that, and then those little teeth in there's 2 on each side, so those little 4 bits are what hold these onto the white part. So those are the bits that you can really get rid of, actually. So it's really just as simple as just clipping out those 4 little teeth in there. Just grab your trusty nippers, just give that a little clip, and opposite side too, a little clip, a little clip. Yes, and also let's not forget this little tab here at the bottom as well. When this plugs onto here, that little tab there at the bottom will also plug onto this little bit there at the bottom too. We need to get rid of that one also. Just to make sure that we've got a good fit, I'll go ahead and just clean that one up a little bit more too, just to make sure that everything's fitting and nothing's getting hung up as we're trying to slide the part over the white part here. So there you go, 1, 2, 3 little bits removed on the inside, and the pegs actually hold these 2 parts together. You can just leave those intact, don't need to cut those at all. You can cut them if you want, but basically you're just going to do your seam line removal on here as normal. Just kind of lay some glue along the edge, right, and then just glue these together like this. Kind of hard to see what I'm doing. There we go, and just glue those together. You know, you got your glue, give it a good 12 to 24 hours at least to cure on there. Sand that down so this seam line is totally gone, and then later you can paint the parts separately, and then when you're ready to do your final assembly, maybe just use a little bit of glue just to make sure it's stuck on here good and well. Just glue that right onto there and you're all good. No problems with that seam line at all. So it's as simple as that. Hopefully that tip was helpful for you guys. I think it's a pretty obvious and easy fix, but just in case that eluded any of you guys who are maybe working this kit or planning to work on that kit, hopefully that little hint was helpful for you. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye, guys.